Hello everyone, my seed order came in for my 2024 garden and I thought I would share it with you. I don't really plan on buying any plants unless something happens to some of them or something like that. I had to buy a few last year, and I decided to buy probably 3 or 4 eggplants plants because they take a long time. They take even longer than the peppers, it seems like, to get to a decent size. And the ones last year got killed because I put them out there and it got too cold. I was trying to harden them off, and a few of the tomato plants actually died too. So I just thought I would buy some really nice ones, and just they'll do real well, I'm sure. But it sure saves. Let me tell you, it sure saves a ton of money to plant from seeds, to grow your vegetables from seeds. It is a little bit to it to do it, right and everything. But I'm not going to be growing as many plants that have to be transplanted this year. Last year I had like 1, 2, 3, like 5 different kinds of peppers, I think it was. And the old green pepper just does just as well, and tastes good too. And the ones I got, I'll talk about in a minute, excuse me. But I just, I had jalapenos growing, and they were, when we tried them, they were just super hot, really hot. And so we didn't really eat any. I gave a bunch of them away, but we didn't eat any of them. They were too hot. So I'm not going to grow any jalapenos. Banana peppers, if I grow any, I'll do it from some existing seeds I already have. But there was 1 million banana peppers too last year, and we couldn't eat all of them. And I gave as many as I could away, and without just saying, here, take these. I got a ton of them. And so it's just kind of waste of my space out there. So I just want to grow one kind of bell peppers, I think, this year. Like I said, I still have a bunch of seeds from last year and even the year before that would work. Typically, it seems like the longer, the older the seeds are, they just don't seem to do quite as good, So that's why I like to buy fresh seeds. And this year I decided to go with Baker's Creek. Last year it was Burpee. They did pretty well. The only thing that I got really aggravated about last year with Burpee Seeds is, and I'm not the only one, lots of people had problems. It was all over Facebook. That their peppers, they were mixed up. They weren't. You might get the totally, it might say whatever, red bell pepper or something. Well, there might be yellow ones in there instead, or anything. And even I got the little, they're like little cherry peppers. I didn't order any of those, and that's what I got, And so that kind of aggravated me. When you buy them, you want to get what you're wanting, not some kind of mystery peppers and stuff. So that's one reason for my decision this year to go with Baker Creek. And they're just a really good company as well. They have heirloom seeds mainly. I don't know if all of them are or not. They are heirloom seeds. Lots of them have just been passed down from generation to generation. I kind of like that, And they also have free shipping. And I was trying to see. They gave me this little seeds at rarseeds.com. I don't know if that's exactly it. They just put this in here. But they seem to be really good people. There's like I said, free shipping, and they send you free seeds, so many according to your order. You'll get at least 1 pack of free seeds. But I think that, I don't know if there's a minimum order for that or not, because I always order quite a few. So I ended up getting, they had another offer, which I saw on Facebook. Or did they send me an email? I'm on their email list. They may have sent me an email. They had a deal where if you had like I think it was like a $10 order or something like that, they sent a free pack of a $5 pack of tomato seeds. And then I got 2 other free packs of seeds. So I ended up with 3 packs of free seeds, which is just, that's awesome. Yes, I have bought from them before, and I've grown quite a few things, and for the most part, everything's done fantastic. Seeds are only going to do as good as the conditions they're in, and the plants, the conditions that they're in. So, if y'all would be interested in starting a garden, you can ask me any questions. I'll be glad to let you know what I know about it. I'm not an expert. I don't feel like I'm an expert, but I have been doing it a long time, many years, and just ended up adding more and more to my garden, and now I've got 3, 2 that are, on top, the beds, and then 1 is in ground here against the house. So anyway, this first one here is a radish. I decided to go with this. I've grown this one before. I also like, what is it, Crimson Giant, I think it's called, something like that. That one's a real good one. They grow really fast. I usually end up with at least 2 to 3 different plantings of radishes. That's how fast they grow. So I went with the early Scarlet Globe this year, and it's a classic round red radish, mild and tasty, crisp white flesh, reasonably warm weather tolerant. So you always look at your back of the seeds or the information that they give you if you're ordering online. Look at that information. You don't want to be surprised and they say, oh, these are better for fall or something like that, So that's what I went for on radishes. And, in the past I've had a bunch of different radishes, but it seems like this one and the Crimson Giant does real good. Okay, I went with, and I grew some of these last year, and they did super. The California Wonder bell pepper. They start out green, and you can eat them green just fine, but once they ripen, they will be red. It says start indoors before last frost date. It says peppers. Where was it said? Okay, an old-time garden standard, excellent green bell pepper, nice size and very good yield. And like I said, if you leave them go, they'll turn red, and they'll be a little bit sweeter after that. So, squash, I had beautiful plants last year. I think I used the same squash, and I try not to use hardly any really of like pesticides or anything like that. I try to keep everything truly organic, but the squash got attacked by squash bugs, and they just ate them up, and it just killed those plants. And that I was like, you know what, I should have been on top of that. So this year I'm probably going to have to spray some, because they come in every year. Sometimes later than others, but you're going to end up seeing them, and once them are dead, they started trying to get in a few other things, but they didn't really kill them like they did the squash. So I got the Black Beauty squash, and I would have had a lot more last year. I didn't end up having any to freeze or anything like I did my carrots and like the eggplant and stuff like that, but because they got killed too early. This is a classic dark green summer squash, delicious fried or baked, best pick young. Yeah, and a lot of people, it is cool to see them get really big, but they are much better if I would say, let me see, I don't know if it says, it just says best picked young. Probably, I don't know, 10 inches, maybe 8-10 inches. Is probably the best, because there won't be as many seeds in it. If you wanted to save your seeds, you could let them get really big, and you're going to have a ton of seeds in just one. But these, I've really enjoyed this Black Beauty in the past, and I've also used Ford Hook They're good too. But like I said, I'm gonna have to really like read up on this. You know, these I just plant in the ground, and the radishes as well. They'll grow really fast and just fine. But yeah, I'm gonna have to keep on top of this year. I think I'm gonna have to read up a little bit more on it about the squash bugs. But I've been pretty lucky. I really don't get. And last year, I was very, very surprised because lots of years with your tomatoes, you're gonna get these little aphids, like they're little white, and you don't even hardly see them unless you maybe brush up against the plant, or you know, you would have to be really looking to see them. Like if the plant got shook some, they'll kind of fly around. But I don't even think I had any last year. I really don't, and that was just fantastic. So that's why my tomatoes did so well. They won't really kill your plant. I don't know. They just it's not going to grow as good with any kind of bugs, pestering it and chewing on it and everything else. So here's one of my free ones. I'll end up growing some of this. This is a lettuce, a Landis Winter. There's one of the free ones here. And lettuce, you can either grow most of it like early spring, or like fall, winter type. I've still got some I showed y'all that it got down to like 5 degrees and stuff, if y'all remember. And the tops were a little brown on it, but once it started warming back up, they've made a comeback back there, and I'm gonna be able to harvest more. So they're better off for the winter, if you ask me. I have grown some in the spring before, one of the quick growing ones. But this is an incredibly cold, hardy, classic Pennsylvania Dutch winter lettuce. This variety is a descendant of the now extinct 1700s variety called white tennis ball from the Roughwood seed collection, one of the most frost-resistant lettuces known, superb for winter harvest. So there's one that I'll have for the winter garden already. That was free. I wonder if it tells how many seeds are in here. No, typically on the free ones, there'll be some in there, but they won't be a ton, you know. I guess they have special packages that say free like this, and they probably would like you to try these, and then you say, you know what, I really like those, I want to order some. So that's like it's a bonus for you to get them, and it's actually good for them too, because you know, if it would be something that you maybe never tried before, and you'll decide, well, you know what, I want some of those now. I want to grow more of them. And here's the other free one. I've grown plenty of basil before, usually in my little air garden. But last year I put some out here at the stump it's not a stump anymore because I broke it all up. But out there where I grew my flowers, and it did real well. And this one is Blue Spice. I've never tried that one. Sounds good. It says especially fine appearance in pots or in the garden. Heavy fragrance with spicy vanilla overtones. So that's interesting there. Okay, here's the carrots I went with. Now my carrots last year did the best that I've ever had. As a matter of fact, we just used some yesterday when Joy made her chuck roast, Coca-Cola chuck roast. We used what was left of them in the freezer yesterday. They're just delicious. I still have some of those seeds. I might plant some of both. You know, I'll have a little more room since I'm not growing as many varieties as some other things. But this is called St. Valerie. It says a very old French variety, handsome, large, bright red orange, 10 to 12 inch roots. That'll be a big, carrot. Smooth, sweet, and tender, our favorite. So yeah, and it says best in cooler weather. So does say best in cooler weather. So I don't know. I might. Last year I think I grew my carrots, and they'll grow. They just don't grow as fast. I planted my carrots in the spring, or in May, and I wasn't able to harvest them, or they weren't big enough to really make it worth it until late fall. It's one of the last things. I thought it was the last thing I got out of the garden. as a matter of fact. So I may want to rethink this and plant them later on as well. I'll just have to think about it. But I think the other ones I had last year said that they would grow better, not better, but they would grow pretty well in the warm weather. So what I may do is grow the same ones I had last year, and then in the fall plant these when I have more room. So I'm going to set that in the fall one for now, a pile of the fall ones. The cucumbers, I went with 2 varieties, both Japanese varieties. I really like them. Some of them are really disease resistant, but the ones I had last year, they got I guess it's called powdery mildew. And if y'all remember, they just started dying. I thought they would have lasted almost twice as long as they did. So I was a little disappointed in the cucumbers last year. Even though we did get quite a few, we should have got a lot more than we did. So I'm going with the Japanese varieties this year. And I've grown this one here before, and it did real well. It's a Natsu Fushinari cucumber, and it says, aptly named, its Japanese name refers to its ability to set fruit at every node. Disease resistant, it has a deep green color, glossy skin, good uniformity, and fruits 8-inch long. So that sounds good. And then this one is, I've never tried this one. I hope I can pronounce it. Jabai Shimoshirazu. See that? Did I pronounce it right? So that one's what that looks like, and it says delectable variety from Japan, the sweetest cucumbers we have tasted. Deep green fruits are about 7 to 8-inch long, adapted to high temperature, humidity, and are disease and powdery mildew resistant. That's what you want with your cucumbers, to say that. Okay, I think I got 4 kinds of tomatoes, and then the free one that they sent. I figure I'll probably grow about 3 of each and have 15 plants. I had 18 last year. I'll have more room, so I may go ahead and grow 18 plants anyway. I'll have plenty of varieties here. This one is the classic beefsteak. Just a really good tomato. It is the classic beefsteak tomato, 1 to 2 pound fruit. Now, that's a big tomato, and I've had some that big, plenty of them. And good old-fashioned tomato flavor. Very well suited for Northeast U.S., but a good grower everywhere in the States. Here is my all-time favorite, the Cherokee Purple. Just the best tasting tomato I've ever tried myself. I mean, there's others I really like, but this is my favorite for sure. It's so juicy. It's a pre-1890 Cherokee Indian heirloom. Beautiful, deep, dusky, purple-pink color. Superb sweet flavor, very large fruit, a customer favorite. What you got to watch for with these is they'll be ripe and it'll still be green right around here. At the first time I grew them, I thought they weren't ripe yet because they were green on top, and they actually got overripe before I picked them. So now what you need to do is just feel them. Even though they're green up here, they'll still be, this color down here. Feel them, and you can tell what's ripe if it's a little bit, not super firm, but just starting to feel a little bit, where you can squeeze it. And that's how you can best tell those are ready. Okay, and I went with this one. I've never tried this one. It's a big rainbow. I didn't want all just red tomatoes, so I got the Cherokee Purple and this big rainbow. It's an heirloom preserved by members of the Seed Savers Exchange. Huge fruit to 2 pounds, delicious and sweet tasting, very striking sliced, yellow flesh and neon red. That sounds good. I had one similar to that. I don't know I think it was last year or the year before. So this one I've never tried either. It's called Dester, D-E-S-T-E-R. It is originally from Germany. Large pink beefsteaks reach to 1 to 1.5 pounds. Rich, sweet flavor makes it an excellent slicer. And then here's the free pack I got, and this was a $5 pack of seeds for free. It's the Black Beauty. I've grown a Japanese variety of black tomatoes before that were kind of small. and they were really great, but I've never grown, I've grown a black, oh, I can't remember. I grew one variety that was dark, and it was a crimson or something like that. I can't really remember right offhand. A black crimson, there's not crimson, black. Somebody that'll watch this will remember what that one's called, and let me know. I can't remember right now. This one says world's darkest tomato, so dark that some tomatoes turn solid blue-black on the skin. So that sounds very interesting. And here's the beans I decided to go with. This is really the only one that claimed to be stringless. You know, that's my big problem with green beans. I had tons of them last year. They just kept growing, but they were about the worst I've had for strings. I can't hardly eat them that way. I can't eat the strings like that. So I've tried these before, but I had 3 varieties at one time, and I couldn't tell exactly which was which. So I'm gonna kind of just grow these, I think, and I can maybe have a second planting. Sometimes I can plant 2 times. This is a Landreth stringless bean. 55 days until it's ready. Very early 1885 heirloom, is flavorful, stringless, and yields heavily. Green 5-inch pods. So that's great. Sounds great. You know, it's just lots of times it's trial and error, and you'll learn which ones that do the best. And you know, I'm taking a little chance growing some I've never tried before, but I have confidence that I can grow them, you know, pretty good and pretty healthy. So that's it for now, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my 2024 seed collection from Baker's Creek. If you did, I hope you'll press that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and share this out, and hit that so you get all my videos as soon as they come out. Watch with me as I grow everything this year. If you would like to also check out last year's garden and the years before, I have several of my garden playlists that you can check into and see how they progressed as the year went. I'm excited about it. I love, that's my favorite hobby, is to grow my garden. So it does a lot for me. It helps me with my anxiety. It feeds us and some of my family and friends as well. So it's just a win-win situation for me. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and God bless.